Secondary prevention is preventing addiction. If it starts, how can we intervene quickly and get help for our kids immediately and prevent addiction? That's secondary.
Recently, a group of parents gathered at the Burlington Public Library to hear advice on a life or death issue. Burlington Parents Stand Together, a group of parents who decided they wanted to form a group to have a louder voice to get their message heard by the different departments in town, held a forum on opioid addiction. The program was hosted by Marilyn Belmonte, an advocate against drug and alcohol abuse and one of the co-founders of the group. I asked Marilyn what was the main message she hoped parents took away from the seminar.
Probably the biggest message, I would say, is having conversations with your children. And when I say children, I don't just mean teens, I don't just mean kids, even your young adult children. Having conversations regarding the difference between proper use of medications and misuse. Because a lot of young people, especially younger teens and children, they don't understand that medications, if misused, are extremely dangerous. They assume that when you're sick, you go to the doctor gives you medicine, you get better. So medicine is good for you. But they don't understand that if they take someone else's medicine or they increase the dose of their own medication, that can be extremely dangerous.
Marilyn talked at length about the pathway to addiction. She said that for many young people who don't go out seeking drugs, the way they get hooked is through pain medication prescriptions. An injury, say on a ball field, can eventually lead to addiction.
There were lots of studies and actually some articles. There was a 7-month investigation by Sports Illustrated. And they did a program saying that opioid prescriptions, basically, I don't remember the title now, but opioid prescriptions are turning our teen athletes into heroin users. And it really was an amazing thing to see. There have been a lot of things pointing to that now. We know that a lot of times our kids get injured with sports, and it's not just sports. I mean, it's also wisdom teeth removal. But they're being prescribed medications that are extremely highly addictive. Opioids are very addictive. And so as parents, we need to step back and say, well, do we really need that? I mean, maybe we could just try some Tylenol and ice and then see if we need that. But to just jump right away into opioids is something that parents need to intervene and be proactive and talk to the doctors about.
As the addiction grows, Marilyn said, more pills are needed to feed it. When that option is no longer viable, the next step is often heroin.
Because they're so highly addictive that by the time they're done with the prescription that the doctor has given them, they can be already addicted. And then they're looking for more. They have to find it somewhere because they're addicted. And then because the prescriptions are expensive, it leads later to heroin use, because heroin is basically the same thing to the brain. Brain does not know if it's getting Percocet or it's getting heroin. It has to have one of them. Give me something. And when you don't have enough money now for the pills, heroin is just dirt cheap in comparison. So.
Finally, if a parent suspects their child of being addicted to opioids, they need to try and get them help and always be prepared with a dosage of Narcan, the drug that stops an overdose.
If you know someone, love someone that has a substance use disorder, you really need to have Narcan. You can go to CVS or to the Harvard Pilgrim Pharmacy, and you don't need a doctor's prescription. You just go up to the pharmacist and say that you want Narcan, and they will give you a form to fill out, and you purchase it, or sometimes your insurance will cover it. A lot of them do. But regardless, you just have it. You have it with you, and it will save a life. It will. If someone is overdosed, it will pull them out of that overdose, and so that they can get treatment at that point.
At the Burlington Public Library, I'm B News Director Rich Halsford.